And today we're going to check out this video, which is the half-ton man, which we haven't seen too many people get close to 1,000 pounds watching my 600-pound life. So this one's going to be a little bit up there. When you start weighing half of a Honda Civic, I feel like you're like, okay, I probably need to cut back on the calories a little bit, because you're not going to get quite the mileage that a Civic's going to get if you're like a half-ton person. If you're a half-ton car, like, okay, you might be able to go a little ways, but your heart isn't going to run quite as good as that engine, I guess is what I'm thinking, and the lines I'm kind of going along. But this looks like a really old documentary, just starting out with this truck here. So I don't know what's going to happen in this one, but definitely should be fun. Let's give it a go.
Nebraska, America. A special ambulance service is called out on its most extraordinary mission. To get to their patient, they have to knock down one wall of his house. Inside is a man who weighs half a ton.
I've seen that guy before get Kool-Aid Man chubby. I know exactly who the hell they're talking about. I've seen his documentary. I don't think it's all about him, though.
Even as an obesity surgeon, I had never come across a human being that was still breathing that was anything like his size.
Patrick Dewell weighs as much as 5 baby elephants. The weight bearing down on his vital organs is killing him.
That's just kind of messed up, right? They're comparing you to Dumbo off rip. He weighs as much as 5 baby elephants. Talking about this documentary just going way fat phobic off the start.
When he rolled to his back, he could not breathe because the weight would prevent his lungs from expanding and contracting.
Which back was he rolling to? Oh, he's got his cheeks out for us. This guy can make all kinds of money on OnlyFats with this Darth Vader mask.
He was literally being crushed by this huge mound of his weight, and you could not explain that to people, even in words. You really had to see it.
As doctors struggle to save the world's heaviest man, scientists are searching for answers. Why is it that for some people like Patrick Dewell, the desire to eat is greater than the will to live? After 7 years of being trapped at home, Patrick weighed 76 stone, and
I wonder why his chest is all red like that, too. He's got some kind of baboon mating ritual thing going on his chest.
his body was deteriorating dangerously.
You can't roll me up onto this side, no. Okay.
We noticed that he had a lot of weeping tissue, which means his skin had stretched beyond capacity and that the fluid from his body had basically seeped out and saturated the sheets. He had blood and or fecal matter on his hands, under his fingernails.
For months, Patrick had lain face down, waiting for his life to end.
He had to have the TV on all the time, 24 hours a day. And I always felt that he had that TV on so that even if he was sleeping, that sound was there and he knew he was still alive.
All right, but you're also the one that's bringing him the Chipotle for him to eat with the crap nails. So this guy's literally got doo-doo all over him from trying to clean himself, trying to change his life, which, yes, he probably laid there expecting to die for a very long friggin' time just because he didn't expect to make it this far. A lot of people don't when they get like over 500, 600.
The only hospital that could save Patrick was 6 hours away. The team had a major concern. If he stopped breathing, they wouldn't be able to turn him over to revive him.
That created a very unusual challenge for us, since Patrick couldn't breathe on his back. And with no neck, or no neck to speak of, putting an airway in would be almost impossible.
I'm sorry, it's not funny. It's just the way they're like, well, we know that if this guy needed like life-saving measures, we couldn't possibly roll him over. He's had far too many Rolos for that. He's over 1,000 pounds. And then he has no neck, so we can't trach him. It's just the way they're putting it is funny. I don't think it's funny at all.
Mask or anything, but I'm going to turn on some oxygen and just kind of put that down by your face, okay?
Patrick told me right to my face, he said, "Dad, I think I'm going to die." And I couldn't lie to him. I said, "Pat, you might."
Weight had always been a problem for Patrick. At 4 years old, He weighed 6 stone.
Okay, so cracking 56 at 4. I mean, that's not crazy by some of the standards we've seen on my 600-pound life, though.
Didn't necessarily eat more, he just gained faster.
No, not
People
true.
said, well, it's baby fat, it's healthy, it won't be a problem. They said he'll lose the baby fat as he gets older. Oh, but he really never did.
Betty banned sweets and did her best to make sure the family had a healthy diet. But Patrick always had room for more.
Oh yeah, little miss, it's baby fat. He'll lose the pounds when he hits puberty. You're sure that he was not eating more under any circumstance, because they seem to think that for some reason the metabolism gods just smited him for some reason, and it has nothing to do with the amount of food he's eating. I understand that. Metabolism, yeah. Sweet God.
Patrick always said that when he sat down to eat, he could eat a full-size meal as much as anybody else did, and he was still hungry. He was always hungry.
He never felt full.
Patrick made it to hospital, but by now he was drowning in his own fluid.
It's kind of a crazy experience just to think like, okay, it's sink or swim time, and I'm literally drowning inside myself because I've ate myself to a point where I just feel hopeless, like I'm at death's door. Like this guy had 100% given up at this point, right? It's amazing to me that he's even trying anymore, because at 1,000 pounds, you think he just kind of retired to this is my life.
The thing that was actually killing him was he was not able to keep up with the demands of the heart. And he had probably 200 pounds of water within the tissues. So he was going to die of congestive heart failure, literally within weeks to days.
Did you guys give him any Cheerios? It says heart healthy on that box. I think that's what it's designed for.
Patrick's obesity was way beyond what even experts had seen. 30 stone is considered to be medically life-threatening, and Dr. Harris was stunned to find a patient who weighed more than double that.
At the time I first met him, he was advertised as being in the 800-pound range. It was clear when I took one look in the room that this was something way over that, and that this was something that you don't see but once in a career.
Patrick, is this a good?
They're all like, oh, he said he was 800 pounds. No, this guy is very much more than 800 pounds. We've seen 5, we've seen 6, we've even seen 8, okay? This guy is like, literally, like they said, 5 baby friggin' elephants, okay? They're weighing him on the Dumbo Richter scale. They're not even going with people anymore. Like, he weighs as much as so many full-grown adults. No, he weighs 5 baby friggin' elephants, okay?
Good position for you?
Good.
Is this a good position for you?
14 stone of Patrick's weight was fluid. Dr. Harris knew it would go quickly on a crash diet, but he couldn't starve him. Patrick was suffering from malnutrition.
Lots of people think because you're taking in all these calories that you're going to be well nourished, and the answer is no. He was taking in lots of calories, but he was not taking in high quality calories. Lots of fats and lots of carbohydrates.
Okay, so apparently you can have malnutrition if you decide that you're just going to live off Oreos for a while, which is news to me because I spent like a week living off Hostess at one point when I was in like my 500s. I literally think the only thing I ate for a whole week was cupcakes. So I probably had friggin' malnutrition too, looking at that.
Dr. Harris's team of nutritionists devised a special diet. Patrick was to eat 1/10 of what he normally ate. The results were miraculous.
It was either buckle down and do it or skip it, go home and die. And Dr. Harris had told me, he said, while you're in the hospital, you're going to do what I tell you.
He lost that much weight that quick though, because his neck seems to have appeared really quick. So they could have trached him if they had to. But like I always say, the only hole you can't dig yourself out of is the grave. This guy's a perfect example of that.
Organization plan. And Burger King hopes to cash in on the non-dieters. The fast food giant launched its new enormous omelet today. 2 eggs, 2 slices of cheese, a sausage patty, 3 strips of bacon, and a bun. For nutritional experts are appalled. Burger King says it's just offering choice.
Local reporter Jane Andrews made the half-ton man's fight for life into worldwide news.
Patrick Dool came into this world weighing a very average 7 pounds, 12 ounces. And almost from that very moment, he has been fighting the needle on the scale. But as you are about to see,
when we first met him, he would have trouble breathing, even to complete an entire sentence. By the time we saw him in October, he had lost so much weight that conversation was quite easy for him. He laughed more.
All of a sudden, I could roll over by myself. Then they had the machine help me sit up, and I could sit up by myself.
He got a fat trapeze act too. I'd never had any kind of fun equipment like this. I'm just realizing more and more. Every one of these weight loss and things, like weight loss shows I watch, I got screwed over. I never had fun tools like this.
That was great.
But just 8 weeks into his fight of a lifetime, Patrick is already moving ahead of schedule.
I love my sweetie is eating. I'll love her for life 'cause she is my new wife.
All those steps were amazing, going from not being able to do anything to being able to walk around and do things. I
love my sweetie is eating while his wife's sitting there holding her hand, or holding his hand. That's friggin' crazy. This guy has a 600-pound theme song.
keeping track of pounds lost rather than how much does he weigh, because to me that the pounds lost was the encouragement, you know.
There, I got rid of it.
And so the 1 week that he didn't lose very much, but I said to him, but you've already lost this much. You know, don't get discouraged. You can keep on doing it.
Oh, that's a great idea. The cigarettes usually help the congestive heart failure, especially when you're drowning in your own fluids and you're sitting there not able to roll over and you have an oxygen mask. You probably should smoke. It's really good for your lungs, right?
Before Patrick met Edie, his only date had been at a school prom when someone lost a bet. After years of being on his own, he put an ad in the Lonely Hearts column.
I knew that I was going to marry her the minute she walked in the door. It was gorgeous.
Because it's the first date he's had outside of a bet. I imagine he would have married Quasimodo if Quasimodo walked through the door, but good for him. He seems to have found his soulmate. His sweetie is eating. That's another soulmate for all of us fat folk, but at least he found somebody that loves him, it looks like.
Fat, 40, and short, but he thought I was gorgeous.
Just the way I like him.
So you weren't put off by his size?
No, because I looked at this much of him, and I talked to him, and I saw the personality, and I saw the fun-loving person, and I saw the intelligent person, and I think we even talked about music, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Fun-loving. Look at how big the guy is already. He couldn't have been out crazy active. He looks like he could still walk at this point, so maybe he had a little more fun-loving about him. But little did they know that both of them were going to end up rushing down the aisle, getting married, and then she was just going to be a caretaker. So she signed up for that. Good for her, I guess.
Edie was Patrick's first and only girlfriend, but their marriage has never been consummated.
We don't have a sexual relationship. We're looking forward to one when he gets his weight down, but there has not been one. It's not possible.
I don't think Patrick really cared because he was getting a paper cut from flipping through that paper so much, looking at the Lonely Hearts column, probably.
After 4 months of being on a crash diet, Patrick was nearly half his original weight. But Dr. Harris knew from experience that compulsive eaters like Patrick leave hospital and can put all the weight back on.
Had he, as he could have done, left the hospital at 600 pounds and gone home to try to do that on his own, it's my suspicion it took us 4 to 5 months to get it off. I think he'd had it back on and been dead in 3 months.
Bro, 4 months dropping 400 pounds on a controlled diet is friggin' miraculous. But honestly, since he's on the controlled diet, the second he gets home and it's all up to him and his wife, and they don't have any kind of like limitation to what they can eat, and he just thinks, oh, well, this is better than what I used to do, he 100% probably would end up putting that weight right back on.
When Patrick Dewell was rushed to hospital, he weighed 76 stone. His only chance of survival was a strictly controlled diet, but he still tried to break the rules.
When family and friends would come, they had to kind of be frisked by the nursing staff to make sure that there was no contraband.
Quick, let's make sure her wife isn't smuggling any Snickers in her jail suitcase, because, okay, she probably thinks he is miserable in here. He's been eating low sodium, this and that, because they're going to have him on probably like some kind of renal failure diet like I was when my kidneys shut down. So yeah, he's not getting the most flavorful stuff, but the fact that they have to stop his family from stopping at a vending machine to bring him some Chex Mix is pretty friggin' wild.
And he would negotiate. If he could con some student nurse into bringing him a real Coke, away we'd go.
Dr. Harris decided there was only one way to stop Patrick overeating, an operation to reduce the size of his stomach.
In gastric bypass surgery, the surgeon uses a row of staples to seal off most of the stomach, leaving a small pouch on top. This restricts food intake. The small intestine is then attached to the pouch, which reduces the absorption of calories and nutrients.
So this is a diagram of like the full gastric bypass, and this is like I think they consider it more invasive than what I had, which is just the sleeve, where they don't like rearrange the intestine and attach it. They just cut off like the part of the stomach that's like coming down. They'll make it like a small like egg shape, but it's like a banana, I guess. They said a hard-boiled egg could fit in it. I don't know. I didn't do that much research, honestly. I was like, just take it so I can lose weight.
He'll have an incision that goes from his breastbone down to his belly button, and maybe below that if necessary to get adequate exposure.
Patrick's stomach would be reduced to the size of a thumb. It simply wouldn't be able to take in large amounts of food anymore.
It's also really crazy that they used to crack you from like sternum down and like or incision. I don't know if they would crack, but they would do such a big incision for what they do now laparoscopically. Like I can't even see where my incisions were anymore on my stomach.
The stomach on the morbidly obese typically is much bigger than the stomach on the normal. Why? Because you've eat enough food that you stretch it all the time, and in Patrick's case it was huge. I could have probably got 3 quarts, 3 liters into Patrick's. So he had this huge storage capacity where when he came across pizza he couldn't just eat X number of slices, he could eat 3 times X number of slices as you.
Don't you slut shame us fat stomachs for being stretched out a little bit. That's not very friggin' nice, okay? He said, this surgeon sitting here like, oh, once you get to a certain level of fat, it's like a hot dog down a hallway. Look at you, buddy. Come on. Everybody's stomach stretches a little.
Might be able to eat.
Thank you.
Well, Patrick, how do you make it out in there?
Like a side of Nebraska beef going to market, but I'm doing.
Look, they got rid of all the student nurses because he was conning them into bringing him snacks. They're like, bring in the experienced ones. This guy's a manipulative master. Like, get rid of the young ones.
Doing okay.
Today, after 6 months in hospital, Patrick is going home. At 44 stone, he's nearly half his previous weight.
Nice.
Now it will be up to him and his wife Edie to fight his urge to overeat.
With us buying what he says he wants for meals and only having that in the house, no chips, no, the extra things, which I don't eat anyway, I think we can do it.
But Patrick is still at risk. Although his stomach is tiny, if he eats continuously, he'll put the weight back on.
Which is what you hear Dr. Now talk about, like, oh, well, you're grazing, you're eating little bits here and there. But when it comes to your stomach being smaller like that, yeah, you can eat a little bit, but you're hungry again in like 2 hours. But I always found if you push past that like initial hunger, you could make it like 4 or 6, and then you would have to eat something, or you'd start getting like a little faint because you need food, obviously, right? But you can push it a lot longer than that. If he's eating every 2 hours and just filling up his little stomach with ice cream, yeah, he's going to put weight back on.
It's not a risk, it will be a fact. If Patrick goes back and grazes, the unfortunate reality is he'll not only regain the weight, but he'll probably regain it faster than it was taken off in the hospital environment. So if that happens, he'll go back into congestive failure, he'll drown in his own secretions, and he'll do it reasonably promptly if he has uncontrolled intake of calories.
And then they'll never consummate anything because cheesecake was more important to him than finding out what Lonely Singles was about. So he'll be flipping back through the newspaper because his wife will definitely be tired of that by that point, probably.
Patrick has
Maybe
been
not.
given strict instructions on what he can eat. The new regime will be a challenge for Edie too. Their neighbours remember how she used to feed Patrick his favourite foods in bed.
Restore unto me. There was times when he had snacks laying on that headboard of his bed and stuff that probably a man in that condition probably shouldn't have had.
Isn't there an ice cream brand called Edie's too? So every time this man talks to his wife, he starts flashing like mint chocolate chip ice cream in his brain. It's just triggering flashbacks.
And pinwheel things or pecan twirls or whatever they call them sitting up there.
Yep.
When he said, I want this, if it was in my power and in the grocery budget, I got it for him.
I once knew a fat person, those pinwheel things they're talking about, right? Like the pecan pinwheels. They would go to like, what was it? Like a chicken feed store or something. And they would have the ones that were like recently expired for you to feed to your chickens. They would buy a whole cart full of them and just eat friggin' like expired pinwheels. Which, yeah, I didn't know that was a thing either. But apparently if you're super fat and you want to eat some newly expired stuff, you can go get it at like a feed store. Oops.
Partially because he couldn't get out and go do things himself. You need to be there and support and love and concern and show, show in the way that he understands that you care. I think we got 3 there. Oh, yeah.
So this is her idea of diet food for her husband. Okay, this is going to go to hell in a handbasket, isn't it?
Okay.
When Patrick married Edie, he already weighed 50 stone. After 10 years together, his waist had expanded.
So that's what, 700 pounds at the start? And he walked down the aisle? So, I mean, good on him for being able to do that.
To 7.5 feet.
I hadn't realized how bad he was. I knew he was this big, but I hadn't realized how bad it looked until I saw these pictures.
We might have to call lens crafters for you if you cannot see that level of lard. Like, come on, the man's 700 pounds when we met him. I just didn't realize it was that bad, Doc. What the hell are you talking about?
I think Edie actually has a really deep love for him, but I think sometimes love can be blinding. In that situation, it needed somebody that was strong enough to say no more. I even caught myself thinking one day, well, how's that any different than sisters?
Which I actually think is what most people think. Like, if you're feeding your partner to that point because they're bedbound, and he's not going to say no. Let's keep it real. If you're going to bring it to him, he's going to eat it, which is the same reason James King's wife didn't get in trouble for it, because he's the one chewing it. He's the one eating it. You can't really blame the other person, but you can say they played a part, right?
When you got married to him, why didn't you just take him in hand? Why didn't you say, I'm going to put you on a diet, I'm going to get you healthier?
He would have still said, well, honey, I need chips.
Easiest way in the world to alienate me is to tell me not to do something, or tell me I can't do something.
So Patrick sounds like you wouldn't like me when I was angry. She would have lost a finger to that gator bringing him a couple of Pop-Tarts or something, or not bringing him Pop-Tarts. He would have just snapped off a finger if it was a salad.
I'll rip you to shreds.
Yeah, okay.
Now Patrick's food choices are limited. 3 months after leaving hospital, he's feeling the effects of having his stomach reduced.
Everything makes you sick. You can only eat 1 ounce of something every 20 minutes. And depending on what they give you, if your stomach decides you can or can't or will or won't take it, you could put something down there and throw it right back up.
Oh shit, this is terrible news. This guy's already talking about how he can eat every 20 minutes. And I'm sitting here going, yeah, you get hungry about every 2 hours. This guy's like, screw that. We can eat 6 times in 2 hours. Yeah, you're going to throw up. You're overeating. If you're throwing up that often, you're overeating. Yes, certain things agree with certain people, certain things don't agree with you, but you figure that out pretty quick, what you can and can't eat.
Patrick has lost weight by eating less, but he insists that even when he was supersize, he never ate more than anyone else.
Okay.
When Patrick was really big, when he was, you know, over 1,000 pounds, how much was he eating then?
I keep thinking from the way you're asking the questions that you keep expecting her to say, oh my God, he was eating half the refrigerator a day, we had $1,200 a month grocery bills, stuff like that. That wasn't the deal.
Oh my God, this guy is so like he's blinded. Like they're like, oh, when you're in love, you can be blinded. He just doesn't realize how much he ate. Like me, I'm like, oh, I don't think I ate too much more than I think I drank a lot of friggin' calories, that's for sure. But yeah, you don't realize in the moment. But Patrick's like is still in this stage where he's like, oh yeah, I don't think I ate all that much, and my wife won't say any different. Don't come in here and expect any different answers. Yeah, I do expect different answers. You had to eat everything in that house to get up to 1,000 pounds, buddy.
We're talking genetics here, we're not talking volume.
And really,
Genetics means that when you have weight to lose, it doesn't want to come off regardless of what you eat.
Dr. Harris thinks Patrick's metabolism is the same as anyone else's.
And he's also already drinking Diet Coke, Diet Dr. Pepper 3 months after surgery, which they'll tell you not to touch the carbonated stuff because it kind of helps. Like, I don't know, the gas doesn't feel good. I've heard people say different things on if it stretches out your stomach or not. I steered clear of carbonation because it hurt. It didn't feel good.
But he believes Patrick was driven to eat huge amounts. Just to maintain his weight of 76 stone, he must have eaten 15,000 calories per day. That's 15 large pizzas.
Even as a young man, if you'd followed him around for a day with a video camera, he and his parents both would have been at odds to how many times he really went to the refrigerator.
It might not be greed that is driving Patrick's huge appetite. For years, scientists have been searching for reasons why people overeat.
So now you're going to use a little Stewart to tell me why I became a lard ass, or we're really experimenting on friggin' mice to figure out why some people eat up to 1,600 pounds? All right, let's do this thing. Let's figure out why the rat made me fat.
10 years ago, they identified a gene that could be responsible. The difference...
Damn, would you look at that porker? That rat's fat as shit. He's not getting nowhere to get in the trash can.
Between these mice was a gene that produced a single protein hormone in the brain called leptin. The mice without it were always hungry, overate, and became obese.
Same environment, same capacity for exercise, same access at water and food, and yet you've got this one mouse, same as his cousin, except for one little genetic focus, who's now morbidly obese, and his genetic cousin is a normal mouse.
So you're gonna tell me that I got chemically chubby because of something called leptin? I don't even know what leptin is.
Since then, scientists have gone on to discover many other genes that seem to determine our desire to overeat.
This guy apparently got the effed up haircut gene. I can't really say much about that. My hair's thinning. Leave me alone.
You see that between people who are of the same family, brothers and sisters, some of which will be skinny and some of which will be morbidly obese.
Dr. Harris's belief in the fat gene theory comes from personal experience. He was once so overweight, he couldn't work.
Couldn't get in the boat, couldn't get out of the boat, couldn't hunt pheasant, couldn't stand and do an entire day's worth of operating without feeling wretched about it.
He maintained...
Okay, this is this guy's idea of so fat I couldn't work anymore. Buddy, You're not even close to what I would consider that level yet. I mean, yeah, he's a little bit bigger than he is when he's talking to us now, but I don't think he's that damn big.
It wasn't greed, but his genetic makeup that made him overeat.
Where you'll eat the meal and be perfectly content, not eat again for 6 to 8 hours. I'm going to eat the meal, and at 2 hours I'm going to be looking for another meal.
Dr. Harris was so desperate to stop overeating, he decided to have his stomach reduced. He's convinced that it takes more than willpower to eat less if you have the fat gene.
And you can either accept that that's genetic, you can decide that those people who are morbidly obese are weak-willed, fat, lazy, and disgusting people who are not as good as I am because I'm skinny.
I'll definitely take a little bit of credit for the lazy part. You don't really want to do the kind of work that is involved with losing that amount of weight because you're like, I'm this far gone. I'm just a lost cause. You're not a lost cause. You need to get that out of your head already. I don't think most people are even saying you're just like a slob or this or that. I don't think most people have that level of hatred towards you. I just think people are absolutely fascinated with how you can eat yourself to a point where they can't find your neck to trach you if you were to like be rushed to hospital, or they couldn't roll you over to get you out of the room and they're knocking down walls to get you out of a house. I think that's what people are fascinated with.
Scientists think that years ago, some people developed this fat gene to help them survive famine. But with today's high-fat diet and couch potato lifestyle, that helpful gene has become something that can kill us.
I'm sure he knew what he was doing to himself. It was obvious. I was aware that I was doing when I was gaining weight. But the drive was just so strong that even you know that, man, I'm going to feel wretched if I do this, they do it anyway.
You hear that? If there's an apocalypse, your skinny ass is dying, but I have leptin, so I'm going to survive. That's what I'm talking about, the famine fat ass gene. I got it, baby.
So he'd rather die than stop eating?
Came close.
Sweetie? Yes, dear? Diet Wild Cherry Pepsi, please.
All right.
It's been 3 months since Patrick left hospital. He's trying to stick to his new regime.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to lose weight now because he's got a trapeze. He can get up, he can walk, which good for Patrick. But the fact that he's still yelling orders out from the bed, kind of a little alarming at this point. He should want to live a little more than just ordering food to the bedroom.
So is Patrick on a special diet?
Nope,
as far as a special diet is concerned, no, there really isn't one. Just the amount of calories intake is mainly what we're watching.
Probably for the first year, I was like, I'm going to stay under 800 calories. And I did that. I still didn't eat the best, but I counted my calories every day, all day, kept a running tally in my head. Never went over that. Then I would say the next year I was like, okay, I can have 1,000, 1,200 because I'm a little hungrier. And now like I try to stay under 1,500. That's my goal in a day, is to stay under 1,500 calories. This guy's idea of less is probably going to be way more than most people, like average size. So he's going to lose weight for a while. My question is he going to have the longevity if he's like, okay, I can have a little bit of ice cream today. He's going to, I don't know, he'll lose weight for sure because it's less than what he was initially taking in, but he'll put it back on at the end because he's not dieting.
So how many would be in that breakfast, do you think?
Have no idea.
There are only a handful of people in the world like Patrick who weigh over 60 stone, but the numbers are getting higher. More people than ever are eating themselves to death.
Why? Because we're compulsive overeaters.
The heaviest woman in history's chiming in on this one? Okay, that's cool. I didn't expect to get a little twofer here. Twofer Tubby.
We have not learned to establish our priorities when it comes to food.
Rosalie Bradford ate her way into the record books. At 85 stone, she was 10 stone heavier than Patrick at his biggest. Even those close to her didn't know how much she was eating.
Wait, what? She weighed 140 more pounds than Patrick and she's still kicking too? You guys need to go get you some of the Nebraska air because people over here are kicking it in 600s. Ain't nobody making it to 1,000. What's in Nebraska that's making people live longer?
I have so many tricks that it would just make you laugh. I had this one big furry, fluffy dog, and Bob would be cooking dinner, he'd bring me my food, and I'd wait a little bit and I'd yell, "Darn you dog, what'd you do that for?" So I would pretend the dog took my pork chop or my chicken leg or something, and I had it anyway. So Bob would bring me extra, and I'd keep that for a little bit later.
Don't blame Fido for you being fat. Come on. Okay. Blaming it on the dog is absolutely diabolical. This woman right here is pure evil. I bet that dog got reamed out by her husband so many times for stealing her food. Really, she was just like hiding it or scarfing it down and then asking for another. That's so damn mean to the dog.
But you know, addicts, alcoholics, we're all liars.
I'm truthful.
Rosalie weighed 25 stone when she married. After her son was born, her weight went up. It finally hit 85 stone when she was confined to her bed.
Well, damn, I mean, okay, she's probably about 600-700 right there. And they're playing Tickle Pickle, so Patrick should be about that far along at this point, right?
Because of an illness.
I ate nonstop. And then, you know, just being so incredibly inactive.
Did you realize that you were getting so much bigger?
Yes, I knew I was getting a lot bigger because the spot where Bob had to sleep was getting a lot smaller.
Yeah, I would say also her probably first alarm was when her arm started playing Where's Your Elbow and it just started like engulfing it. That would probably be the first red flag that I'm getting bigger.
Yeah.
Did you look in the mirror at all?
I didn't get out of bed for almost 10 years.
Rosalie's compulsion damaged the lives of everyone around her.
Yep, the mirror steals fat souls. We steer clear of that puppy at all costs because you're like some kind of voluptuous vampire. You just don't want to see it, okay? You get to a certain point where you just go like blissfully ignorant of the whole like you just don't want to acknowledge it.
Little Rob was too embarrassed to explain why his mum never left the house.
He told some of his friends, he told them that his mom was dead.
Aww.
Because he didn't know how to explain. Yeah.
Rosalie was 8 feet wide when she was taken by the fire service to hospital. Her life was in danger.
Hot damn, 8 feet wide? She couldn't even fit down the street, could she? You could have put her on the sidewalk and she's damaging parked cars. She would have to crab walk, oh my God, to even fit down the sidewalk. 8 feet, I mean, I guess my waist was 5 feet around, but 8 feet wide? Holy shit.
Until America's #1 weight loss guru phoned her out of the blue.
And he said
Dr.
it was
Now?
Richard Simmons. And I said, who? And he said, Richard Simmons. And I said, yeah, right, I'm Mother Teresa. Now, who is this? You know?
Shut the hell up. Richard Simmons is in this too? My mom made my little fat ass sweat to the oldies to try to get me to lose weight when I was a kid. Me and this little afro have had a couple go-arounds in our friggin' lifetime. This documentary's friggin' awesome.
Richard Simmons is America's king of Keep Fit. His Farewell to Fat program may have made him a multi-millionaire, but helping America's obese is a genuine personal crusade.
Am I going to make you slim and beautiful? No, you are going to make you slim and beautiful.
Over the years, he's picked up the phone and become a lifeline to hundreds of people like Rosalie.
You can learn how to finally say farewell to fat for yourself. Welcome.
Yeah, bon voyage to the bulge. Richard Simmons, I think he passed not too long ago. R.I.P. to that guy. What a fat weight loss like legend he is.
I'm the one that picks them up. I'm the one that dusts them off, and then I'm the one that gives them the hope.
Okay, pick them up.
Richard called me every single day. You know, why are you eating? And I really started to focus, am I really hungry? Or do I just want to eat to satisfy, you know, whatever.
It becomes habit. It's like routine. You're just like, okay, I just eat. You're not actually hungry. You also eat to the point where you're stuffed all the time instead of just stopping after you're like content. You just keep pushing and it's weird. I don't even know why to explain you do it.
Rosalie doesn't look to her genes to explain her weight. She thinks her problems started when she was young. Her mum abandoned her as a baby, and she believes food became her only comfort.
Most children, when you say, well, what did you do at somebody's house? Well, we played a game or we did this or that. And I can remember not that much of what we did, but I can remember focusing on the snacks that we would get.
Okay, you probably need to start blaming the fat mouse gene then, because your metabolism wasn't kicking quite as good. We've got this new thing to blame called leptin. I'm going to be using that every time somebody asks me how I got fat as hell.
Everyone is emotional, but some of us are acutely emotional, and our emotions flare up and we don't want to face them. So we want to pull the covers over, and you do that with spaghetti and meatballs and prime rib and apple pie with ice cream. And you think at the time it's going to make things better.
I don't think I really ever used food as like Harry Potter's obesity cloak or anything like that and thought I was hiding behind it. But yeah, you're emotional eater, happy eater, anything like that. There's a lot of emotional eaters in the world out there.
To feel the food in here. I like to feel it go down here. I like to feel emotionally.
What?
It solves problems.
I always tell people, food never solves any of your problems, past, present, or future.
Let's take
Unless you're her, the fattest woman in history that's talking about how she liked to throat goat anything. But okay, apparently feeling food slide down your gullet was like appeasing or made her feel a little bit better about something.
Richard's philosophy comes from personal experience. He spent a lifetime battling with his weight and binge eating.
And go.
I am a compulsive eater. Food at an early age meant more to me than just about anything. And while I was eating the first piece of chicken, I was eyeing to see what other piece of chicken I wanted.
I'm about to see a piece of chicken pop out on you if you get your shorts any damn shorter. Your giblets are almost popping out, man. I forgot about those things. I'm about to see a stray hair fly out of here.
What is it? Let me hear it. Sweating plus toning equals health. Am I right about this formula?
Richard's solution.
Not if you add leptin into the mix, because apparently there is a super fat gene that can equate for everything and explains why everyone gets fat. That's the super gene.
Was common sense. It worked for him, and he spread the word to America's obese. He told them to drop the fad diets, eat sensibly, and exercise.
When they come up with hereditary genes and it's genetic, I think maybe teeny percentage. The rest, there isn't a person I haven't met who can't lower their calories, lower their fat grams, sweat a little bit more, and step on the scale and go, I'm down 4 pounds. That worked. Let's see, if I do that for 10 weeks in a row, I go, wait, it's not for 10 weeks in a row, it's forever.
I don't think a lot of people they're like, okay, I'll get on a diet, I'll lose some weight, you know, things will be good, but they don't realize that it's a lifelong change. And you're really just starting when you start the diet. You're going to have to really keep it up and keep working at it if you want to be successful long term. At least that's the point I'm at this point.
Couch plus donuts equals fat. Am I right?
When Rosalie followed Richard's food plan, she experienced a feeling in her stomach she had never had before.
He says, you're feeling hunger. Yeah, but I never felt hunger because there was constantly food all the time.
I'm sorry. It's kind of funny that she got 8 feet wide and they're like, well, you are officially the couch, ma'am. And she's like, what's this feeling in my stomach? It's really weird. You're hungry. And she had never been hungry before. And you're going to tell me that she's probably one of the people that doesn't believe she ate that much and she doesn't know what hunger is? Shut up.
I mean, can you imagine these folks in other countries, they don't know what it's like to be full. And here I live here in America, thank God for America, but I never felt hunger.
Don't blame America for being fat and free, okay? America is great, love America, but it's kind of funny that she's equating it that way. But yes, there are starving people in the world that look at us like we're crazy because we're eating ourselves to be 1,000 pounds.
With Richard's help, Rosalie lost 65 stone in 10 years.
Can you imagine just going into a bathroom and doing your hair? And going in using the loo, you know? I mean, remarkable. I didn't have those experiences for years.
So what, she lost something like 80 pounds a year for 10 years? I'm surprised she lasted that long at her weight, honestly, that she had time to lose a pound every 4 days.
Hey, Bob, you hungry?
Yeah. Supporters of the fat gene theory are convinced that people like Rosalie are trapped in a cycle. If they lose weight, they'll always put it back on.
If you come back in 5 years and she's still off, then I challenge you to come back at 10 years, and then I challenge you to come back at 15 years. And I guarantee before she dies, she'll fall off the wagon.
It would kill me. I'm just sure it would. You know, God cut me a break. I don't want to be a fool and screw it up.
But also, if she falls off the wagon, it's because she started eating like she used to. And I wouldn't be able to blame leptin for that. That would be a choice where she just decided that she was going to go back to her old ways and she was just going to eat like she used to. If we really believe that, everybody that gets super fat is just doomed to die fat in bed like that.
I see somebody, they lose 50 pounds, and then I see them 6 months later, and they gain back 50 plus 60.
Fat gene or not, Richard Simmons believes there's only one way to fight obesity.
We're going to go over some of these formulas right now, and I want to see if you can relate to any of these formulas, okay?
Yeah, the only way to lose weight is get some short shorts and do disco, according to that guy, though.
Let me know.
But it can be tough.
C plus D.
This is a death sentence.
Who are you?
This is hell. When I die, I know I'm going to heaven because I've done my hell time.
There are some people that believe like hell is while you're down here and then you go to heaven, but this is a prison of your own making. If you get this big, it's all on you, buddy. So come on.
Just a year ago, Patrick Dewell was the world's heaviest man. His doctors were worried that once he left hospital, he'd put all the weight he'd lost back on. But he's lost even more.
I'm starting to sag and bag in a lot of places, but I'm getting thinner.
We can see his bones.
Oh, how many bones can you see? Do tell, because apparently that was an issue in the marriage, right? We're looking forward to that. We're going to be sagging and bagging everywhere, right?
His hands aren't as big as they were. I mean, they're still large hands, but they aren't as big as they were. And his face, you can see his face has lost weight, and his shoulders.
Patrick was trapped in his house for 7 years. Now Edie can show him the town he lives in, but had never seen.
We went...
Wait, he's never been outside? So at what point did we move here and then he got too big to get out of the house? Because I do know that you do just sit there and kind of wait to die once you get past a certain point. But he's never seen this town at all? And oh man, these old cars are something to look at, dude. They just look like a friggin' spaceship.
Past the church that I go to, and we went past the pharmacy, and we went past the place that I worked during the summer last summer, and the places that I go to all the time and he knows about, but he'd never seen before.
Patrick seems to be winning his battle. But long-term success stories are rare in the world of the super obese.
Well, chubbies, be of good cheer.
Well, chubbies, damn, F you, buddy, and your screwed up haircut.
We're going to meet a 37-year-old New Yorker who a couple of years ago was given only a week to live. He weighed 64.5 stones.
Was he about to compare us to potatoes? Yeah, or was he going to make something about this is how many French fries you'd have to eat a year to gain that kind of weight?
Michael Hebranko is famous for one thing. He's lost more weight than any other man. In 19 months, he lost 50 stone and became a worldwide celebrity.
So let's meet the remarkable Michael Hebranko.
He lost 700 pounds that fast? Well, this guy ain't got any damn leptin in him, or did you guys pump it out of him?
What was the factor that made you want to lose weight then?
I was at a point in my life, I had a 10-year-old son that was already almost 160 pounds. Daddy took extra spaghetti. My son Mikey took extra macaroni. And I tried to commit suicide. I didn't have the nerve to pull the trigger. I didn't want to live, but I couldn't go on, and I didn't have the nerve to kill myself.
There was one man Michael thought could help him. He'd never met Richard Simmons, but he wrote him a letter.
Hot damn it, Afro Man saves everybody apparently. Richard Simmons just coming in here, short shorts and all, saving the damn world. Who says that every hero doesn't have a cape? They have short shorts apparently for the fat kind.
A lifetime friendship began, and Michael was able to lose weight for the first time in his life. He got down to 14 stone.
I watch what I eat, I follow my program, and I do a lot of physical. I just keep very active.
But don't you miss the food?
Oh, all the time. All the time. I am still addicted to food, but I like myself more now. I like the freedom. I like the ability to be my own person. Never again. Life is too worth it. I love living.
You're probably always going to miss the foods and the things you used to eat like that just because it's like ingrained in you almost. I don't know. I usually don't sit there and like think about cookies like that. But yeah, there are days where I like, I would like to have something sweet. I just know I can't friggin' have it anymore, right?
It wasn't just Michael's body that changed. He started to behave differently too.
If I tell you that I actually didn't like his personality as a thin man, you might think I'm crazy, but I felt that he became very self-centered and things like that. It wasn't the best time in our lives.
Michael even won himself a role in one of Richard Simmons' fitness videos.
Ah, so Richard Simmons put a little jazz in your husband and he got all fabulous with Richard. And then apparently things started to go downhill at home with the wife. So lifelong friendship, maybe more, I don't know.
It seemed to the world he'd kicked his habit, but those close to him suspected otherwise.
Michael did not recognize the new Michael. You go from a man who's housebound to a man dancing and stirring in a video and having his own motivation classes, but along the way he drifted.
Are you going to tell me that leptin made this man less fabulous again? Because if he gains weight, I'm just realizing that I'm doomed and I'm about to die a fat mouse.
All of a sudden, I had women that didn't care that I was wearing a wedding band. And my poor wife was going through hell.
What?
Aww.
But Madeline needn't have worried. The temptation of food proved far greater for Michael than any temptation of the flesh.
Oh, son of a biscuit. This guy sat here and said, okay, lose pounds, gain inches, I'm going to cheat on my wife. And then decided Cheetos were more fun than cheating on his wife and dancing in videos being fabulous at the disco ball. Son of a... What the... Richard Simmons, come back. I need help. I need saving.
A half hour after I hit 198 pounds, I went out and celebrated and had 4 Frankfurters. I hadn't had a Nathan's hot dog in 19 months. And loving the hot dogs, I went and had 1, thinking I could eat 1.
Oh, shit. Richard Simmons made him love hot dogs again. Oh, no, Richard Simmons. What are you doing to this poor guy?
1 turned into 2, 2 turned into 3, 3 turned into 4. And you can't have a hot dog without French fries. And you can't have French fries without the melted cheese on it. So that's where it started.
I'm sorry, it's not funny, but it is kind of funny that he was starring in a music video, dancing, and then next thing you know, sucked 4 hot dogs down his throat with Richard Simmons. That's really friggin' funny to me. I hope it is to you too.
And this is where it ended. 7 years after his Wogan appearance, Michael was forklifted onto a stretcher for transporting killer whales.
Every time I slipped, where normal people would gain 5 pounds, my binges would be 20 pounds.
Didn't they make it illegal to keep killer whales in, like, aquariums anymore? What am I supposed to do when the fat mouse gene gets me if I don't have any Shamu carts anymore?
I mean, if I sat down and ate pork chops, I would sit down and eat 24 pork chops. Hot dogs would be 20 to 22 hot dogs for dinner. If I had breakfast, it would be a dozen scrambled eggs.
How many hot dogs does Joey Chestnut eat again? Because this guy's giving him a run for his friggin' money.
When Michael was taken to hospital, he weighed 5 stone more than he'd ever been before. Now he was over 70 stone.
Let's go. Don't make it like a spectacle. No. Let people understand that this is a disease and that people are dying from it. It's the #1 secondary cause of death in this country. Please, it's not a circus act.
Back it up, please. I eat out of boredom. I eat whenever food is around. I think of food when there's no food around. I think of food constantly, 24 hours a day.
And that's why I tell myself I can eat in this window, I can eat lunch at this time, I can have dinner in this time. I can't eat outside of those windows because I know that I'm probably going to go to the shampoo cart if I let myself start eating all friggin' day. So you just kind of have to like set like these goals for yourself, like where like, or these times, I guess I should say, where it's like, okay, okay to eat, okay to eat, okay to eat. Don't end up chugging hot dogs with Richard Simmons until you cheat on your wife because your like morbid mistress decides she wants a wiener. Just don't do that.
I have gone through all kinds of psychoanalysis. If I could find out the answer, I have been searching and searching, and I will continue searching until, if this disease gets the best of me and takes me to my grave.
Portion it out
Before you sit down.
before you sit down. If you open this bag and start eating from it, you will finish the whole bag before you know.
Right.
There's skinny people that want to finish the bag too. That doesn't mean that we're going to eat and we need a shrink to tell us why we're sharing transportation with Shamu. That doesn't mean any of that. It just means that people will eat more than they need to most of the time.
You don't want to belong to the finish your plate club.
Once again, Michael was desperate to find help. His search led him to a unique rehabilitation center in New York. Brookhaven specializes in treating morbidly obese people.
If there is a fat gene that exists in my patients, it's not reversible today. There is no cure for it, but it is treatable.
Okay, ready to stand?
I'm still shocked that people are wearing jeans in this institution because once you hit a certain point, it's just sweatpants all day, every day. I still have like probably 50 friggin' pairs of sweatpants and one pair of jeans that I never friggin' wore.
1, 2, move forward. Come on, come on, come on. Grab the walker. Grab the walker, come on.
Many of the patients at Brookhaven have been trapped in their homes and haven't walked for years.
You gotta work through the pain.
Two.
Sometimes you gotta do that.
Rob Coleman founded Brookhaven when a friend of his died of morbid obesity. He believes that his patients have one thing in common.
Every one of them, 100%, they're food addicts. They are addicted to food. It's no different than drugs. It's no different than alcohol.
Good job.
Okay, so now we have this institution to figure out why little Stuart caught the lard ass. Okay, now I'm blaming leptin again. Leptin seems to be the thing that's making everybody so fat they're dying in hell on earth, like the other guy said.
Sometimes it's hard to get the patients to understand that they're addicted to food.
Take a deep breath.
Most of the patients who come in here are in denial and don't understand why this has happened to them. What's wrong with me? How did I blow up like this? The answer is that you've been consuming too many calories over a long period of time and you don't exercise.
Per serving, 100 calories.
The patients are taught the simple mathematics of getting thinner. They just need to burn more calories than they consume.
Well, Richard Simmons just gave us that equation. Bed plus donuts equals lard ass. Something plus donuts equals fat. Like Richard Simmons already broke that down. We don't need you, mathematician.
How many calories is the whole liter then? 800 calories in that bottle. It's extremely important to learn how to read labels. You could drink 4 or 5 of those.
No problems throughout the day,
Right.
without a doubt, with some ice.
And what do you do now?
Now I do not. I stay away from that. I try to drink more diet soda. I try to drink more. Water. Coffee, tea, things like that.
Water's your best friend, but I used to pound probably 2 of those in a day, so there accounts for 1,600, which means now I am eating less than I was drinking before, and that's not counting like sweet tea and stuff on top of that. I probably drank like 3,000 calories a day if we're keeping it real.
So if I ate about 15,
I have one resident who likes oranges. He can eat a tremendous quantity of oranges. Oranges are healthy for you. He doesn't understand. I eat oranges all day, every day. Why am I gaining weight? You eat 45 of anything and you're going to gain weight.
After
Here comes the hot dog, Mr. Steal Your Girl bandit right here that was dancing with Richard Simmons again.
losing 21 stone at Brookhaven, Michael Hebranko thought it was safe to go home. But it was too big a step. Once again, he was unable to stop eating.
I had to be on my own, and I had to eat. And I did all right the first day and the second day. But then there was the holidays, and there was this, and there was a little slip here and a slip there. How successful would our alcoholics be if they had to have a drink every day? Just one. How successful would a heroin addict be if he had to take a little heroin every day?
I have heard a lot of people put it that way, but the rise, oh my God, this documentary seems pretty old. You didn't even have Uber Eats yet for you to be the wiener wrangler that you want to be. Like, you didn't even have that. So imagine if he had Uber Eats and he could have stuff come straight to his friggin' door. He would have been screwed. The fat mouse gene was killing off all of America at that point.
Ooh, how about pineapple upside down cake?
Yes, pineapple upside down
I
cake.
love that. Oh. Especially you take that fresh pineapple.
With obesity as one of America's biggest health issues, government scientists are investigating the theory that food can be addictive. Luxuria Hope is one of their test subjects.
When I get upset or nervous, I will go get something to eat. You know, just to make me very upset because I find myself eating food and I wasn't hungry.
So now they're going to put us in machines, feed us stuff that we like, and figure out what responses there are on the brain. This is actually going to be really friggin' interesting.
That's it. Okay,
Luxuria and the other subjects were starved. When shown their favorite foods, their brain scans showed a release of dopamine, a chemical associated with pleasure.
Dopamine is a very strong system. We're hardwired to go out and seek food, nourishment. And we see these really great foods around, and we go after them because our brain is sort of telling us to. But because there's so much of it available, people are becoming obese.
Hold on a second. Okay, so every time I see a cheesecake or a cookie, that means I'm like pleasure's going off in my brain and I'm getting ready to pitch a tent. So, oh my God, I didn't even realize that. I was getting chubbed up for cheesecake this whole friggin' time.
The scientists discovered Luxuria's brain is less sensitive to dopamine than normal weight people. She has fewer receptor sites, so she needs more food to get the same pleasure. They'd seen a similar pattern with drug addicts.
It's very intriguing because it seems to show a similarity between what's happening in drug addicts' brains with what's happening in obese people's brains. Both of these people, if they're suffering this depletion of dopamine receptors, are trying to stimulate their pleasure circuits in their brain with these artificial means, either by overeating or by taking drugs.
The research suggests why overeating can become addictive.
The act of overeating is decreasing their dopamine receptors. So they're really setting themselves up for this cycle of needing to continue to eat larger amounts of food to release more dopamine in order to get a pleasure signal.
Luxuria has now had her stomach stapled and lost 7 stone. Going under the knife isn't the only solution. There are other ways than eating to stimulate your dopamine system.
One last little taste of that.
Anything pleasurable will help to stimulate your dopamine system. Anything you find pleasurable, whether it be music or art or going outside, exercise. Exercise, of course, is particularly beneficial if you're trying to lose weight. And the really interesting thing that comes out of our research is that it will increase your dopamine receptor levels. So it will actually counteract this negative effect of overeating by bringing your system back into balance.
That is actually pretty interesting. And I'm a big fan of finding like healthier outlets and stuff like that. So you just end up being like a happier person altogether. But it's interesting to hear that overeating to a certain point releases more dopamine to make you happier. I don't think I ever really thought about it like that.
Fat gene, addiction, or a combination of both. As scientists make new discoveries, the patients at Brookhaven struggle daily with their compulsion to overeat. Richard Simmons is proof that it can be done. For many,
Yeah, but Richard Simmons is also proof that you can go home, cheat on your wife, and chug 20 hot dogs and go right back the other way to needing a wall knocked out in Shamu's race car.
he's become a close friend. Today, he's putting in a personal visit.
How are you? Tell me how you have been feeling. You get over here. Hello! You know why you got like this?
Eating.
How much have you lost now?
I've lost 330 pounds.
330 pounds. Now that you lost weight, I mean, look at your legs now. What would be the word that you describe yourself as now?
A new life.
A new life.
Younger.
Younger and
Yes.
cuter.
Oh, thank you.
You know.
There's one person that Richard really wants to see today.
Oh my God, is Patrick here? Is he back in this institution? And is Richard gonna come and turn him from the evils that are the lightsaber, long dong hot dog?
Knows his friend and one-time star pupil is in trouble.
Mets won.
Today?
Yeah, 7-1. They whooped your team.
No, they didn't.
Michael has decided to stay at home. Even though he's put on weight, he doesn't want to leave his family to go back to Brookhaven.
When it's time, I will go back. I don't know when that time will happen. But when the time comes, I will go back.
He just doesn't want to face Richard because, like they said, his whole personality changed and he started acting like he was this higher than thou, more mighty. No, the truth of the matter is anybody can go back the other way. It just takes a couple bad choices, a couple slides. Like, you're not a bad person if you go back the other way, but you kind of owe it to yourself. If you've gotten a better life, that you kind of live that life and you live it in a way where you're not just a total dickhead to other people, but you can be happy to live life again and be nice to people about it.
I missed you. What's wrong? How long have I been calling you and talking to you on the phone? How long? How long? 16 years. And you're breaking my heart. Do you want to break my heart?
I want Michael to come back. I think he needs to come back. I think that if Michael doesn't come back, he'll die. And I know he does not want to die. And I know his family does not want him to die. And we don't want him to die.
Yeah, but 16 years doesn't mean much when this guy's sitting down and eating more hot dogs than that in one sitting. Of course he's going to gain friggin' weight, buddy. Wieners. Check that out. Once you find your neck, you can play the trombone again. That's what this guy was living for, playing that trombone. How would he have done that before? Because he's been big his whole friggin' life. I don't know how he would have done it.
Now that's jazz.
Supportive wife, we love to see
Patrick
it.
Dewell, once the world's heaviest man, is returning to hospital to see how much weight he's lost. This is the first time in 7 years he's been fit enough to make a long trip with his wife, Edie.
I'm sweating like a horse.
I see leaves of green.
Fort Niobrara Wildlife Refuge.
Red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
I can't be the only one thinking that he doesn't look much smaller than the last time we saw him on the last part of this.
I'm looking forward to when you can sit up and look out the front window and see what's going on.
Oh, hurry, hurry. What a corker.
Well, what can I say? How was your trip?
Oh, it's pretty good.
When Patrick left hospital 6 months ago, he was 616 pounds. That's
Oh, he's got to be smaller than that. I would think he's like mid-4s at this point or something like that.
44 stone. Dr. Harris will be pleased if he's maintained that loss.
A little bit, you'll have more room to your left.
Balance.
Yep, go right ahead. Ready?
Okay.
See it?
It's switching between 499.6, 4, 2, 8. 499 for all intents and purposes.
Sounds good to me.
Patrick has lost another 120 pounds. That's 9 stone in the 6 months he's been at home. Even
Yeah, but he should have lost a considerable amount more than that if he was up around 600 after just having the surgery. So he's still eating considerably more than Dr. Now would say was okay on my 600-pound life.
so, his weight is still dangerously high at 35 stone.
It's excessive in terms of the rest of the world. But remember, Patrick came in dying. His longevity, just before we brought him to the hospital, was measured in terms of days, not in terms of weeks. And now we're going to measure his longevity in terms of years, even if he doesn't drop any more weight.
Since his weight loss, Patrick's life has changed dramatically. Now he can use a bathroom, he can spend the night away from home for the first time since his honeymoon.
Can you hold your feet up that long?
Ooh, would you look at that? We're going to have a sleepover. We get to go do all kinds of fun activities now.
Do I have a choice?
I've learned that it's a lot easier to live life and be able to do things when you don't weigh quite so much. I mean, I haven't been this thin for 25 years. They started this thing out.
Oh, shut the fuck up. He's sitting here with chips and a cookie next to him. Oh, no, this is going really bad. I thought he was doing so good, too. He was doing it a little bit slower, but he's Mr. Portion King, I guess. He'll get there eventually, right?
By calling me the half-ton man, because I weighed 1,000 pounds. I was looking forward to getting below 500 because it's, that's a quarter ton. So now I'm below that, so I don't have to. They can't measure anything in tons anymore.
He has been so hungry.
Patrick still isn't out of the woods. Stomach reduction operations are usually successful in the short term, but more than half eventually fail.
Oh, suck it. Where the fuck is Richard Simmons when you need him? I need an afro to smack the KFC right out of this guy's hands. This is getting insane already. He barely just got under 500 pounds. You're going to feed him fried chicken and chips? He can get away from home, I guess. He's there, right? That's all he wanted.
That's because people can't break the habit of overeating.
Oh, we've got chicken here, I think, that I can
Have
put
2 meals.
Put it in the refrigerator, and then I'll have a snack later when I need one.
More protein.
You know how many calories I've had today? It's 4 o'clock and I've ate 640 calories total today. That's it, because I'm keeping track of them all friggin' day. That's it.
Just having my afternoon protein snack with cheese.
So you don't seem to have had to change your eating habits too much?
No, not really. I eat pretty much what I want to. I just don't eat as much of it. And I still stay away from the high-fat, high-sodium things.
Yeah, I stay away from high-fat, high-sodium. So fried chicken, perfectly fine. All these other things I'm eating, that's all fine and dandy. Which means the second this guy's stomach stretches out any, and he hasn't changed his diet, he's just going to gain everything right back.
But pretty much I can eat what I want.
When you stop eating healthy, when you stop moving your body, when you start giving your compliments, give yourself compliments, it's over. You'll go back. People go, well, I'll never gain my weight back. 6 months later, you ain't going to believe what happened, Richard. And it happens. So there is no cure for this.
That's just not reality. If I started eating the way I used to, I 100% will go back to how I used to be. So I just don't get that kind of luxury, right? I have to stay on the right path or else I go back.
No, there really isn't.
This is an epidemic now in the United States, but it's rapidly coming in the European Union as you become Americanized. As we give you our McDonald's and our Arby's and our super size
portions, then if you think that the UK is immune, you're going to be sadly mistaken.
Don't blame us either, okay? We all came from you over in the UK, so we're just giving back, okay? We're giving back to you our McDonald's and everything, but I think the UK is like much better about additives and stuff like that in their food.
Oh, easy, 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 easy. It really does hurt. Yeah, up and down.
Rosalie Bradford is housebound again. An operation to remove excess skin from her legs developed complications, and she can hardly walk. So far, she's defied statistics and is still losing weight.
So I say we don't buy it no more.
That's also terrible because she was doing really friggin' good, right? Going from being the fattest woman to like bedbound again has to be like very, like it has to be just like soul crushing that she was working so hard to get ahead.
Michael Hebranko has still not readmitted himself to Brookhaven.
Seriously.
His struggle with food goes on.
You don't think I'm in physical pain? You don't think I'm scared? Of course I am. I'm human.
Yeah, but not enough to make the disco Afro man come and save you from Nathan's like glizzy goblin demon that you caught.
But if you dwell on it, you know. And you know what? I got up today. And there's so many people I've met in the last 15 years that didn't get up today, that are underground right now. So I'm a pretty lucky guy.
Yeah, but if waking up is your standard to living a good life, I mean, I'm sorry to say, I woke up before too. I was not living a good life before. Alright, well, I guess that is the end of this documentary. Very interesting to see just how they broke it down in terms of science with the whole dopamine release when you see your favorite food, or the fact that sweating to the oldies will make you lose a bunch of weight, but then if you start cheating on your wife sucking hot dogs with Richard Simmons, then you're just going to go right back the other way and end up being, what, 700, 900 pounds again. I do sadly think the first guy, what was his name, Patrick, he's kind of doomed to go back the other way. I don't even have to like look it up and see if that's what happened to him. I know that's what's going to happen to him the way he's eating. KFC, cheese, chips, just less of it. He's 100% going back to the fat mouse gene, and little Stuart's going to be getting a little bit saggy again and getting a little more bulge on him. But leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this documentary, and it's kind of interesting. Just give me your thoughts. I'm always interested to read comments and see what you guys think. And yeah, leave a like. Helps me out. I'll see y'all later. Bye.